How many people do you think are out there that are like, Johnny, I've have this habit and I know I don't want it, and I pray and I pray and I pray, and it's so bad, but are you really telling me that God wants me to have this for the rest of my life?
I don't know if God wants you to have it for the rest of your life. I do know that there are stories in the Bible like Paul, who had a thorn on his side, and he had it until he died, and he went to God 3 times. Certain things keep you grounded. I think for me, when I think a bad habit of mine is rumination, where I'll think back to a lot of things I could have done better. But that's what keeps me close to God, because every time my mind starts to drift to the past, I'll think of Isaiah 43:16-19. I'll think of verses that say like that, do not think about the things of the past or the former things, and basically look to the future. It's such a double-edged sword, right? I want to be cautious here because I don't want people to think, yeah, so I can have my corn addiction and this is what's keeping me close to God. But I also don't want you guys to condemn and go, wow, I'm less than because of this. Sure, you can be less than, but in the eyes of God, that is exactly what's keeping you close to him. I know some pastors, like I say, who will admit that and say, man, I struggle with it. And their sermons will be based off of them struggling. And they're the ones that most people gravitate towards because they don't look like the goody two shoes. They don't look like the suited and booted pastor from seminary school who never falls, who's super strong and understands. Rather, they're more relatable and they're just commendable in that way, where it's like, man, I can't go to another pastor. I have to go to you because you get it. So it's very different. Romans 8:28 sums it all up, where good habit, bad habit, whatever it is, all of it is working for the greater good to those who love God. The intention of your heart has to be real and it has to be true. And what I mean by that is God knows, and we know too, whether or not our habit is being accessorized, if it's being enabled, if it's something we hide behind. Even if you're like that, you don't have to change it, but you do have to bring it to God, who will change it. And so that's the most important thing is, are we going to acknowledge, step one, that we have this thing? And how does God see it? Not what you see, not what your mom sees, not what your spouse sees. What does God say about this? What does he see about this? And we should spend, even if we spend all our lives figuring that out, I think God honors that more than you just kind of sweeping it under the rug to then sit there and go, I'm going to do this because I don't want to move out of this. Like I want to stay in this position because it feels good.